You know that feeling, don't you? The rain softly tapping against the window pane, maybe some distant thunder rolling in.
Yeah, it's often really comforting, actually, like nature's white noise.
Makes you feel safe, tucked away. But what happens when that safety just vanishes? When the storm outside isn't the only thing you need to worry about?
Exactly. It's that jarring shift, isn't it? When something familiar suddenly feels deeply, deeply wrong.
That's precisely the unsettling feeling we're diving into today. Our mission here is to explore 3 really disturbing true stories. They all happened during thunderstorms.
And we want to unpack what makes these accounts so chilling, how they tap into those primal fears we all have about, feeling safe in our own space, dealing with the unknown.
Yeah, 3 downright disturbing true thunderstorm horror stories.
We're going to get into the core of these experiences, what they felt like, and what maybe they tell us about fear itself.
Okay, so let's jump right into the first one. This is really gets under your skin. It's Florida, 2008.
Yeah.
Our narrator is 13, living with their dad, stepmom, and younger sister. It's summer, Florida, so yeah, thunderstorms are common.
Right, part of the routine.
So they're all on the couch watching TV, and boom, the power goes out. Happens all the time, apparently. The dad even says the power box is completely unreliable.
Okay, so far so normal. Annoying, maybe, but not scary yet.
Right. So the dad goes outside to check the box. He's gone maybe 10 minutes, and he comes back inside. And he's described as being soaking wet, but also having a sheer look of pure panic on his face.
Whoa, okay. That's not a normal reaction to a power outage.
Not at all. He puts his finger to his lips like, shh, tells him he's not going into work tonight, and immediately pulls the stepmom aside.
Something's definitely up.
The narrator doesn't hear what he says, but whatever it was, the stepmom becomes visibly shaken up.
Understandable.
Then she quickly takes the kids upstairs to her room. And as they're going, the narrator sees the dad getting out his 9mm.
Okay, wow. From power outage to getting a gun, that escalation is terrifying. You know something's fundamentally wrong, but you don't know what.
And it's something really bad. A few minutes later, the dad comes up and tells him what he found. The power box outside.
Yeah.
It hadn't just malfunctioned.
What was it?
It had been cut, broken, tampered with. Deliberately.
Oh, man. So someone did that with, like you said, very bad intentions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when they realized the stepmom, who had been on the phone, she wasn't just calling the power company.
She's calling the police.
Yeah, they were already sending units. But then, this is the part the narrator says drives my family insane.
Okay.
Just 2 minutes later, the home phone rings. In the parents' bedroom where they're hiding.
No way.
The dad answers it, and there's a man's voice described as raspy.
What did he say?
He says, he's inside the house.
Oh, my God.
And then he threatens them, says he's going to kill the whole family, specifically mentioning slitting our throats.
That is beyond terrifying. The call coming from inside the house. During a storm, it's calculated terror, the ultimate violation of safety.
The dad just hangs up, starts yelling, daring the guy to show himself, runs downstairs screaming like a madman.
Pure adrenaline and fear, I imagine.
Police show up, they search the house, but at the time, they tell the family they found nothing.
Nothing, after a direct threat like that.
That's what they were told. They stayed with grandparents for a few days, then life kind of went back to normal, or seemed to.
Seemed to. There's a catch, isn't there?
There is. Years later, maybe 6 or 7 years, the dad finally tells them the full story.
What was it?
That night, the police had found something inside the house. Muddy shoe prints walking toward my bedroom door.
Oh, so he was inside. They just didn't catch him.
He was inside, near where they were hiding.
Wow. That delayed knowledge? Knowing for years you thought you were safe after the incident, but you actually weren't. That's a whole different level of psychological horror.
It really is. The narrator says, that is what scares me the most. And it's also the reason why I always carry.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's about that complete boundary dissolution, right? The line between safe inside and dangerous outside just dissolving and finding out later. It makes the threat feel permanent, unresolved. It poisons the memory of your own home.
Absolute chilling. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Story number 2. This one takes place in March 2012.
Okay.
We have a 15-year-old named Michael. He's home alone. His parents were out at a concert.
Another common scenario, home alone, maybe feeling a bit grown up.
Exactly. And there's a thunderstorm, but Michael actually finds it rather comforting. He's playing computer games, takes a break, goes to the bathroom.
Setting the scene again. Comfort, solitude. Perfect contrast for what's likely coming.
While he's washing his hands, he hears this really faint noise from just outside the bathroom door, like a tap or someone brushing up against the door.
Subtle. Could be
Wow.
anything, right? House settling, wind.
He thinks maybe his parents are back early. Turns off the water, calls out, "Mom." Nothing. No answer. That's when he gets a chill down his spine. He knows there's no wind inside, they don't have pets, something feels off.
That little moment of realization, when your brain flags something is not quite right.
He musters up his courage, opens the bathroom door, and sees nothing immediately alarming in the hallway, except for one thing.
What's that?
The guest bedroom door is open, and he specifically mentions, "We always keep that door closed for guests." And his parents were really strict about it being open when it wasn't supposed to be.
The small detail again. A rule broken, an order disturbed. Classic sign something's wrong in these kinds of narratives. That doorway becomes a threshold to the unknown, right?
Totally. And the room beyond the open door. Pitch darkness. He takes, he says, maybe 3 or 4 steps into the dark guest room. And that's when he sees it. Something that makes his blood run cold.
Oh, no.
One of the closet doors in the guest room is slightly open. And wrapped around the door was a finger.
Just a finger? Oh, man.
He knows instantly. There was somebody in the guest bedroom, no question.
Pure nightmare fuel. What does he do?
He doesn't hesitate. Bolts straight to the home phone. Tries calling his parents at the concert. No signal, no answer.
Right, bad luck.
So he calls 911. But because of the storm, they tell him officers are delayed, it'll take a while. Their advice: hide and not make any noise.
That feeling of helplessness must have been overwhelming. Help is coming, but not soon enough, and you're alone with that.
He runs to his own room, dives under my bed behind a large tent bag, and pulls a big blanket that drapes over the bed down to hide himself completely.
Good hiding spot. Makes sense. The storm that was comforting is now providing cover for the intruder and delaying help. Total inversion.
He's under there, time just crawling by, praying. Then he hears his bedroom door open and someone step inside.
Oh, God. To his own room.
The person walks right past my bed, goes over to his closet, opens it, shuts it, then walks back and just stands there at the edge of my bed for what Michael says felt like a good few seconds.
Just standing there, knowing Michael is likely in the room. That's psychological torture.
He's frozen under the bed. Then finally he hears police sirens approaching in the distance.
Thank goodness. Rescue is coming.
The intruder hears them too, swears under his breath. But just before leaving, he leans down slightly and says something directly towards the bed.
What? What does he say?
He says, "I know you're under the bed, Michael."
He knew his name.
Yes. And then he adds, "Let this be a fair lesson for you to never leave your windows open." And then he's gone.
Whoa. That is incredibly specific and personal. Knowing his name, giving that specific lesson. That changes everything. It's not random.
Right. Michael himself says he has no idea who it could have been or how they knew his name. His parents thought maybe a relative, someone who knew the house layout and his name.
But Michael didn't think so.
No, he said the voice didn't sound like any relative, and honestly, he'd rather not think of the possibility that it was a complete stranger who somehow knew him.
That specific warning, never leave your windows open. Psychologically, what does that do? It puts the blame on him, doesn't it? It makes him feel responsible for the terror.
Absolutely. It implies surveillance, like the intruder watched him, knew his habits. It turns the home, his room, into a place he was specifically targeted. It's designed to create lasting fear and hypervigilance. It's not just about a break-in, it's about being personally marked.
Yeah, that's deeply unsettling. A very different kind of violation than the first story. More targeted, more personal.
Okay, our third and final story. This one shifts tone a bit. We're back in Florida, but earlier, 2006.
Okay.
The narrator's only 8 years old at the time. And they mentioned being absolutely terrified of storms, especially the thunder.
Oh, poor kid. Very common fear.
So common that their mom often sleeps in the same bed with them during storms, just to provide comfort.
That's usually the solution, right? Parental presence equals safety. This story probably twists that somehow.
It does, but in a really strange way. So one night, big thunderstorm rolls in. Mom's in bed with the narrator, as usual. The child asks for their favorite blanket.
Okay, simple request.
Mom gets up, goes to the closet, grabs the blanket, comes back, and starts placing it over the child. Now, the bed is right up against the wall, but there's a small gap.
Right, that little space where things always seem to fall.
Exactly. And as the mom is arranging the blanket, it somehow slips in between the gap, between the bed and the wall, and falls onto the floor.
Oops, happens all the time. Annoying, but mundane.
Totally mundane. The mom says, okay, I'll get it, and leans down, reaches under the bed to retrieve the fallen blanket.
Standard procedure.
But she comes back up empty-handed. And she has, according to the narrator, a really confused expression on her face. She's kind of swearing under her breath.
Confused.
She tells the child, I didn't see my blanket.
Wait, what? It just fell there. How could she not see it?
Exactly. They both kind of freaked out. They checked again multiple times. They even took all of the sheets and covers off the bed to get a clear look. They got down on the floor, looked under the bed themselves. Nothing but the floor.
That doesn't make sense. Where could it have gone?
That's the thing. The narrator's very clear. There was no vent or anything it could have fallen into. And they didn't own any pets that would have taken it.
So it just vanished between slipping off the bed and hitting the floor.
That's how the narrator describes it. It was almost as if the blanket had teleported while falling to the floor. It fell, and then it was gone.
Okay, this is different. This isn't a home invasion or a direct threat. This is a bizarre, unexplainable.
Right. It moves away from straightforward horror into the realm of the truly uncanny, the fundamentally weird.
How does the mind even process that? Unlike the other stories, there's no assailant to fear, no broken lock to fix, just physics seeming to break.
And the narrator mentions the lasting impact is different too. The mom still freaks out about the whole incident every time it's brought up and absolutely claims that it was 100% true.
I believe her. I mean, how do you rationalize that? It's not about physical safety being breached. It's about your understanding of reality itself being shaken. That's a different kind of terror, maybe more insidious because there's nothing to fight or hide from. It's like a glitch in the world.
It leaves you questioning everything, doesn't it?
Right.
That feeling that the basic rules just didn't apply for a moment.
Yep, it's an intellectual violation almost. Your grasp on reality feels less secure.
So looking back at these three accounts, they each offer a really distinct flavor of terror, don't they?
Definitely. The first one, that's the direct physical violation, the intruder in the sanctuary, made worse by the delayed discovery. Pure dread.
Then the second, Michael's story, that's the chillingly personal invasion. Being targeted, named, warned. That focuses on vulnerability and psychological manipulation.
And the third, the blanket. That's the baffling, inexplicable event. It taps into the fear of the unknown, the breakdown of logic itself. More uncanny than overtly horrific, maybe.
But the common thread running through all of them, besides the terror, is the thunderstorm.
Right. It wasn't just wallpaper. In the first two, it provided literal cover, darkness, noise, delayed police. It actively helped the intruders.
And in the third, even if it didn't directly cause the event, it created that atmosphere. That heightened sense of strangeness, the world feeling a bit off-kilter already because of the storm.
Yeah, it amplified everything. The isolation, the vulnerability, the potential for things to go wrong or weird.
Yeah.
These weren't just random scary stories. They were profound breaches of security, privacy, and even just basic understanding.
So it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? When the elements themselves, something as natural as a storm, seem to align with malice or just sheer impossibility, what does that do to how safe we feel, especially in our homes, the one place we expect, we need to feel secure?
And maybe even deeper, how do we reconcile our rational minds with experiences that just defy explanation? When the world suddenly presents something that seems truly impossible, where does that leave us?
It's a heavy thought, something that definitely sticks with you long after the thunder stops rumbling, making you maybe double-check the locks, or just wonder about the things that flicker at the edge of our understanding.